What is good, my peoples? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a monthly forecast for the month of August of 2021. Thank you guys so much for listening to this in advance. And if you are a member of my Patreon, you get to listen first before everybody else on YouTube. Okay, so if you guys have not joined my Patreon yet, make sure you go and check it out and select a membership level that best suits you. If you are a part of my Cosmic Homies, you get videos like this in advance before the public on YouTube, as well as some hidden little videos about transits where I emphasize on some of the major ones, and I do not put those out on YouTube. If you are a member of any tier, you can hear those and the monthlies ahead of time. If you're a member of the OG Cosmic Homies and up, then you can hear all of the monthly forecast for all the signs. You have access to all of them instead of buying them individually on my website by sign. Okay, so some of you guys, you listened for all three of your big three, which is your sun, your moon, and your rising, and purchase them individually, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? If you were a part of the upper tiers, you can have access to those every month, to all of them, even listening to the ones for your friends or, your boo or your loved ones or whoever. Okay. I do have some stuff that I'm still working on that's coming up soon. I'm not going to really announce anything, you guys, because listen, this fool right here, this ninja right here, though, Uranus, he is the great awakener. He shakes up your life. He is about randomness and throwing you and tossing you here and there randomly. And so he's basically hovering over my entire existence right now. And so, yeah, I can't really promise things and give dates for many things anymore because I never know what he's going to throw in my path or what path he's going to throw me on. And I just have to go with the flow. If you are a Taurus, anything that is up to the middle degrees of Taurus, rising, sun, moon, maybe even Mercury, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Uranus is crazy and you have to adjust and adapt to the change in whatever direction he throws you in, or, you're like, okay, let me go over there. Okay, I'll go over here. Okay, it's electrifying energy that just zaps you and throws you. So, but pretty much, yeah, I'm still at least going to deliver to you guys the monthly forecast. That's all I can really promise at this time. So speaking of, let's go ahead and start diving in what's going on in the month of August. I really hope you guys had a dope ass month of July. And I hope you guys are staying cool if you're in any of the regions of the world where it gets hotter than a motherfucker, okay, like where I'm at. Another reason why I haven't been doing many videos or anything is because I do live on the west coast of the US and it is hot AF over here, and my air conditioning has been broken for months. And I finally had to put my invisible Karen wig on. I'm having a little 10th house transit. You know what I mean? For those who know astrology, you know what I mean. 10th house transits will make you be a Karen like a motherfucker, okay? Especially in the sign of Leo and in Virgo. Yeah, so I finally had to put her on that invisible wig and roll my neck and put my hand on my hip, and yeah, I got my AC finally replaced within the last week. So I have barely been home, and there's just so much to explain about that maybe I'll explain another time. You guys are not here for all of that. You want to hear what's going on in the month of August for you guys. So I just wanted to explain at least a tidbit of why I've been offline. I've been on the grind, super hardcore in my personal life. Another Uranus lightning bolt, and had no air conditioning at my home for months. And yeah, so it kind of, dug into my astral work a little bit. Actually, a lot. Okay, a fucking lot. But anyway, what's going on in August? I really hope it's a better month for me and for you guys if you've been going through any things too. So pretty much the whole month we have Mars in Virgo. I can talk about that. Mars enters Virgo the last part of July. And so as we start August, he is stepping into Virgo, stepping on the scene. Mars, unless he's retro, he stays in a sign for at least like a month and a half. So he's going to be in Virgo the whole month. The vibe when Mars is in Virgo is putting forth actions that are helpful, that are more meticulous and calculated, and more about service and organization. Virgo is about that work. Okay. So with Mars and Virgo, everybody could be feeling more of a sense of duty and responsibility and having to stick to doing the right things and following schedules and routines. And if you do have any type of job, then you will be working extra hard. It doesn't matter if you're a Virgo or not. If you don't have a job, whatever purpose you feel like you serve in life, you are going to feel like you always have to be doing something. Like Mars and Virgo energy is like, I always have to be doing something. I always have to be serving a purpose. Like it can't just chill and be lazy and kick back like other signs. Hell to the no. So everybody will have a taste of that energy this whole month. Mars which is fighting, combined with Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, which is talking and communication. Just a fair warning, Mars and Virgo, he's a verbal assassin, okay? And he will make more verbal assassins come out towards you or you towards other people. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day. It depends on where you come from and like what shows you used to watch and what cultures you're a part of or whatever. But there used to be a thing, especially more in like the hood and shit, playing the dozens, where they say play the dozens, where it's like telling the yo mama jokes and any jokes that are like just straight clowning on somebody about their appearance and picking someone apart detail by detail. That is Mars and Virgo all day. That's Mars and Virgo vibes. He's about that life. So I know people with Mars and Virgo, and yeah, that's exactly what they do. If you piss them off, they have ammunition saved up, boy. Like that they've been like noticing details about you and your flaws and stuff, and they've been gathering up in the back of their mind, just waiting for the day they'll have to fire on you. You know what I'm saying? And then if you piss them off, it's like, oh yeah, well, that's why you this, and that's why you look like this, and that's why you have this on your face, and that's why your body is shaped like this, and that. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. I used to be very close with someone who had that placement and at a job, and oh my God, just like the stuff that came out of their mouth, my jaw would drop. Like, that's how you talk about people for reals, my G? Like, seriously? And they're like, what? And it's like, that lady better not say anything about me because she doesn't want me to say anything about her, is the Mars and Virgo attitude. So just be aware of that. People will be more sharp towards each other. Even though Mars doesn't rule communication, it's in a communication sign, but a sign that communicates about details and flaws. All right. Okay. So, the saying, those are fighting words. Yeah, Mars and Virgo is all about the fighting words. So that's the whole month. We have Mars and Virgo. We do have also the sun in Leo the majority of the month. Up until the 22nd, we have the sun in Leo. So about, 3/4 of the month. The sun in Leo is still giving the Leo vibes. Okay. And also Mercury is in Leo only for like the first 2 weeks. I will go into things in date order in a second. But Sun and Mercury together in Leo, they're actually at the same degree as we start the month of August, like on the first day. And oh my God, the Leos are Leoing hard. The Virgos are fucking Virgoing hard too. So lots of know-it-all, I'm better than you and smarter than you energy is in the air, okay, for the majority of the month of August. So just be aware of that, you guys. And those of you who are Leo and or Virgo, or you have a mix of both energies via the planets in your chart, just try not to be too much on your high horse and looking down upon people and treating others like with disrespect or like they're peasants or, oh, you didn't know that already? Like that type of attitude, like, oh, well, I knew that. I'm the master knower of all in the universe, So I'm saying that because I have worked in very closely in work environments. I always end up working with Leos and Virgos, or Leos with Virgo placements, or vice versa. And I have, some acquaintances that have a combination of that energy too. And they are hella know-it-all. You know what I mean? And I have been in positions to where they treated me and others like totally like shit. Like we were just so beneath them, and we didn't know what they knew. So, like they like to find someone who I call is like their village idiot. They're village idiots that they just always watch what they do, pick at them, pick on them, make fun of them, whisper about them, crack jokes, send emails and have meetings about how stupid they are. Oh my God. Yeah. So I had some traumatizing experiences with those types of energies, and other people I know too. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that is in the air this month. Just please try not to fall into that. Whatever your signs are, or whatever you have in your chart or don't have, like, this is energy in the air that we can all become, we can all embody in some sort of way. But especially if you are any of these energies by nature in your chart, yeah, just watch yourself. Watch how you treat people this month. All right? Don't be disrespectful and shit, okay? But this energy is really super dope for being on top of your game, though. Being on top of your game with whatever it is that you do. Even if you are a housewife or a house husband and you stay home and you take care of the house and the kids, this energy is super dope for even that. For really being on top of schedules and routines and, habits and cleanliness and organization and all of that, and feeling confident in what you do. So whatever you do in life, even if you are in school, this energy is super dope, because the Virgo energy is good for paying close attention to details, being organized, writing notes, buying all the little supplies, the highlighters, the stickers, the planners, the lists and all of that, and being in Target. Oh, listen, you guys. Oh my God. Listen. As I'm recording this, the Virgo energy, it has already entered the chat, okay? As I'm recording this. And let me tell you, my 6th house herself, I have Sun and Mars in the 6th, which is, like Virgo energy. So I am pretty Virgo myself in a lot of ways. Oh my God, listen, I've been in Target to just get a couple things, quote unquote. And because it's back to school time, back to school season is during Leo and Virgo season, which Leo rules children, Virgo rules education in some way, like sitting down and learning and paying attention and teaching and all that is associated. Virgo's one of a few signs that rules that. So it makes sense that back to school time is this time of year, right? But listen, like in Target, they have like all the new supplies out, the cute stickers and the color coordinated pens and stationaries. My 6th house has been going crazy. Like, oh my God, I want to buy it all. Like, I can't, I can barely even be home to sit down and organize my fucking life right now, right? But I want that stuff. It's so cute, So yeah, Target is popping with all of that, as I'm sure other stores are too. But Target is like king, you know what I'm saying, for like cute shit, So yeah, Virgo energy in the air, equates to getting yourself organized, whether it's in a cute way or not so cute, to where you just have like a plain sheet of paper and, a plain notepad, and you're just writing shit down and keeping notes, like, or sticky notes, all of that is so Virgo. Okay. So yeah, we have the Sun and Mercury in Leo, and then the Mercury's going to go into Virgo, and then just leave the Sun kind of chilling by himself in Leo. And I know Leos are going to be, hey, Leo season, woo, oh my God, we're the best, woo, 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 woo. It's all about Leos right now. But listen, I'm sorry, Leos. I'm going to have a Kanye to Taylor Swift moment right now. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Leos, but Virgos are getting their shine on right now too. Okay, like Mercury, Mars, and Venus all in Virgo. Yeah, and only the Sun is in Leo. Psh, shit. Virgos are shining and doing their thing too. So yeah, knock the crown off. I knock the crown off and just get with it. Get with everybody else, because it's not just all about you. I'm sorry, it's not. I know Leos like to celebrate their birthdays the whole entire year and remind everybody, my birthday is in 8 months. Oh my God, my birthday is next year. But yeah, it's your time. But hey, Virgos are doing their thing this month in August too. So anyway, now let's go into some important transits in date order. Now that you guys know what the vibe is for the month. One thing I forgot to mention too is Jupiter. Mr. Jupiter, he's gone back into Aquarius. He went back into Aquarius July 28th. So as we enter August, he is back in Aquarius. So he's going to be back in Aquarius until December 28th. So for exactly 5 months, he's back in Aquarius, retro, and then moving forward. So this month in August, he's going to be at that critical 29th degree. He gets down to 25 degrees of Aquarius. He continues to go backwards the next couple months until he hits 22 degrees. And in October, he sits at that degree the whole month, retro, and then stationing to prepare to go direct, then sitting stationed, and then going direct. 22 degrees of Aquarius. Okay. But until then, we are in the month of August going back over the degrees that Jupiter in Aquarius was in. From 29 to 25 degrees of Aquarius. Last time he was here was 25 to 29. It looks like mid-April of 2021 up until mid-May of 2021. So if you had anything major going on in the area of life and your chart that Aquarius rules, those things can be revisited and revised, and there may be some restructuring. Some things are being redone. I'll tell you guys right now, I had to go back over one of my utility bills. As Jupiter switched back into Aquarius retrograde today, I had to go back over one of my utility bills back to mid-April. I'm just realizing that now. In mid-April, that's when the bill ended up getting switched. The rate switched and went up, and I had to go back and review today and be like, what the fuck, man? And call the company and be like, yo, what's the deal? Why did my bill go up like $30 a month? That may not sound like a lot, but hey, for some people it is. Okay. So I had to ask, like, what's the deal? And have them review and revise that bill. And that's in my 4th house, which rules the home front. And Aquarius is technology and the internet. It was my internet bill. You see how astrology is like fucking crazy ass math that like just totally makes sense. So anyway, yeah, you can have to review and revise an area of your life, that and things that were popping between mid-April and mid-May. Okay, this whole month of August, that could be going on. So we do start the month with the sun opposing Saturn, dun dun dun, and Mercury opposing Saturn. So we do start off the beginning of August kind of stern, like, you know what I'm saying? Probably super focused on work, or at least trying to be, with this energy, and then the earthy Virgo energy that's about work and stuff too. Saturn grounds us, and he makes us disciplined, and he makes us work hard and see life through a lens of hard work and dedication, and nothing less than that, because anything less than that isn't going to get you where you need to be. So a lot of us are like just probably more focused in on that than partying and all the other shit that Leo likes to do. So yeah, that's when we start the month. But we do start the month with a Mars and Jupiter opposition, which wants to go wee and not even pay attention to rules or boundaries or respect or anything, just wants to party. So there may be a back and forth internally in your world somewhere as we start the month, that you want to be responsible and do the right thing and all this stuff, but then part of you wants to go woo woohoo, like, what parachute, fuck it, I'ma jump, so that's how we can be, feeling the first, the first few days, first week or so. Now we do have a new moon in Leo. We have a new moon in Leo that is actually opposing it's opposing Saturn, and it's also going to be making a square aspect to Uranus. Okay. So what's cracking with this? So the new moon is at 16 Leo. So it is opposing Saturn, 10 of Aquarius, and it's square Uranus. And Uranus rules Aquarius. So there's something here that has to do with, first of all, like maybe it could be something to do with our egos, because the sun, especially in its home sign of Leo, can rule our egos and being egotistical and self-centered and self-focused. So maybe there's something there that like reminds us to humble ourselves. And Aquarius, where Saturn is at, and the planet Uranus that rules it, is about the people other than you, being a humanitarian, caring about other people outside of you and your little self and your world, So maybe there could be some reality checks, some humbling of some people, like, yo, you are not the king or queen of the world. You're not the center of the world. There's other people that need things, that need attention, that how this energy is making me feel, because there's a lot of work energy in the air. I'm feeling like it reminds me of when, I don't know if any of you guys have worked in the service industry, like to where, like say a restaurant server, right? I've worked as a restaurant server a few times, and you have a section that has several tables, and every table is not looking around to see how many other tables you as a server has. They don't care. All they care about is, we need our water. We were sat down 30 seconds ago and there's no water, there's no this, there's no that. Where's our food? Oh my God. Most people are not looking outside of themselves to see like, oh, well, maybe the server is like overwhelmed. Maybe they oversat their section. Like, people don't realize that because they don't think outside of themselves and think outside the box like that. You know what I mean? So I've had situations like that as a server. I'm very focused in on one person or one party at a time, one table at a time. But I remember they sat down like 5 different tables all at once, which they're supposed to stagger it and scatter it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get overwhelmed. But they didn't do that one night. It was very busy. And so I didn't realize that there was like 2 other tables. I'm so focused in on like the 2 that I already had been in contact with. And then the hostess comes up as, oh, well, table blah, blah was sat down 30 seconds ago. They're pissed off. They don't even have water yet. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know you said, and they're supposed to let you know, hey, we sat table blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that reminds me of this opposition between the Leo and the Aquarius in this new moon. Is like, I know that when I go out to restaurants and stuff now, I do consider what the waiter or the waitress might be doing or going through. And I do observe them, to see, are they just fucking around, or are they super busy and overwhelmed? Maybe they're, there's bad communication between them and the host or the hostess or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You never know. So I try to have consideration, try to be humanitarian mindset. Like, it's not just about me and my wants and needs at the moment. Maybe this person is trying to cater to too many people at once and is having a hard time, So you got to look outside of you, the queen, or you, the king, and I deserve and I demand. Okay, screw everybody else. I didn't realize somebody else needed something. You need to look outside of that sometimes. So there's a lot I can say about this new moon, but wherever Leo is at in your chart, and you can order a monthly horoscope for your sign, okay, for your sun, moon, or rising sign, by the way, to see where Leo is at in your chart, to see where things are really popping for you under this new moon. New moons do bring new beginnings, but hey, listen, just reality, like realness. The new moon is the sun and moon like together in the sky, but it's dark, right? So that means something could be cleared away with a new moon in order to make room for something new first. First, something's cleared away to make room for something new is what I mean by that. So sometimes there's something that has to just be removed. So yeah, and then the opposition to Saturn and the trine to Uranus, this could be something that's like, a choice between something new and something old, like an old way of doing things and stubbornly clinging to that versus a new way of doing things and trying it out and giving it a chance. So that's what I have to say about the new moon in Leo, just on a general level. Okay. So that's on the 8th of August. All right. So on the 11th, we have Mercury moving into Virgo. Oh, I forgot to move this along. My bad. I haven't used this in so long, you guys, that I just totally like freaking spaced it out. There we go. Okay. So when is the new moon? What time is the new moon? Where is she at? Okay. So it's like super early in the morning where I'm at in the US. So it's like in the morning, in the daytime or whatever. Okay. So then we move to the 11th of August. This is when we have it. Mercury go into Virgo. Okay. So Mercury will be in Virgo only for a couple of weeks because he's moving at regular speed now. So from August 11th to August 30th, he's in Virgo and he's going to join Mars and Venus. And remember, Mercury is at home in Virgo. He rules the sign of Virgo. So he can be the verbal annihilator. Mercury puts on his little glasses, his little spectacles now. He puts his little Poindexter tie on now. Like, I'm a good person. I'm a good citizen. But behind the scenes, he is a motherfucking mess and a fool. Okay. That is a Virgo energy all day. So Mercury in Virgo says it's time to correct everybody's grammar and, deem them as either being stupid or very smart and someone that you'd actually like to converse with because they make sense. Mercury in Virgo always wants to talk about what makes sense and what doesn't. If you ever observe anyone, whether in person or online, and you hear them say the term, does that make sense? Or, they say that after things that they say. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Or, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. If they say that a lot, you can bet millions that they have Virgo somewhere strong in their chart, okay? Or sixth house energy, all right? But Virgo is heavy on the does it make sense. So, time to bust out your little calculators. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the calculator on your phone or if it's an old school one that's dusty in the corner, like you are going to knock the dust off of it, bring it out and put your little spectacles on and start calculating your budget, calculating the mileage versus the this and the that. And I don't know if it makes sense for me to pay this amount anymore or for me to, fork this money out towards this. The Virgo energy is accountant energy too. All right. Virgos are the accountants of the zodiac, the penny pinchers. They will comb over every little dime, nickel, and penny that is being spent, being saved. Where's it going and why and how often, and make pie graphs and Excel spreadsheets about the shit all day. So that's the vibe. That's the vibe starting August 11th. That's heavily the vibe. So you see what I'm saying? Like, here's Mercury in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, and only the sun is in Leo. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Leos. I have to clown a little bit because I know a lot of you guys and you're like, oh, it's our season. Hey, with your little leopard print on, your little animal print and wearing yellow and gold with your crowns walking around thinking it's all about you. But it's like, yeah, there's other planets. Leo, sun in Leo, and they're in other signs, and we're, you know what I'm saying? We're doing some things too. It's not just you. What? Oh my God, Leos are the best. What are you talking about? But yeah, so Mercury steps on the scene into Virgo from August 11th until August 30th. Okay, now we move ahead to the 16th, and this is when Venus goes into Libra. She's also at home. She rules Libra. So she's at home doing her thing. She's looking at art and design and the aesthetics. And the word aesthetic is going to be thrown around so freaking much while Venus is in Libra. It's aesthetically pleasing. I like how this looks. This is satisfying to me. And people are going to be more in the mirror or passing by the reflection in a fucking window or like, anything that's reflective, and checking their hair and checking, their outfit. And yeah, it's all about putting those outfits together, or as the fashionistas like to say, putting pieces together, fashion pieces. It's not clothes or outfits. It's, I put this piece with this piece. Yeah, that's going to be our lingo and terminology when Venus is in Libra. Libra is a sign of relationships, and so this is the beginning of cuffing season, boot up season, whatever. So I know that most people deem that as being the fall. Well, I mean, shit, hello, in the fall, that's when the sun is in Libra. But any other planets in Libra are going to activate that energy just as well, okay? Just as much as well. I mean, sorry, Virgos, don't correct me, okay? I've had a long day, a long life. Just leave me alone. But anyway, so yes, just as much, Venus being love in Libra, one of her home signs, is going to make people start thinking about relationships a lot more. Or, they say Libra is a sign of relationships. It doesn't always mean that, like, while there's Libra energy in the air, everybody wants to commit to each other necessarily. She likes attention. She likes positive attention. She likes just receiving love in general, and giving love and giving compliments and making people feel good and smile and all that. But most of the time with Venus in Libra, it's because she wants that in return. Because remember, she's the scales, Libra. You know what I'm saying? Like, you give to me, I give to you. Or I give to you, you better give to me, or else it's not fair. So she gives out a lot of compliments, and sometimes, honestly, it may be bullshit because she wants it back. So Venus in Libra, yeah, the flirtation is on high with this energy, with everyone being nice and friendly because they want to be well loved and liked by everyone. It doesn't matter who they are. So just try not to take anyone's actions like that or words like that are super sweet to heart. Okay, because this is air energy. Air energy gives like zero fucks a lot of times, or maybe a partial of a fuck, but not fully. Okay. When it comes to people, air is emotionally detached. So the actions and flirtations of others can be very emotionally attached while Venus is in Libra. She's going to be in Libra until September 10th. So from August 16th to September 10th. Okay. So like mid-August through the rest of the month of August, she's here, and she is beautiful and fabulous, and she will make you pay more attention to your looks. She will make you step up your game when it comes to your looks. So I would say, well, the sun is in Leo, Mercury and Mars are in Virgo, and Venus is in Libra. While they're all together like this, people are really going to be getting their appearances together, because the Virgo energy will make you pick at yourself and be like, oh my God, look at this roll here. Look at this wrinkle here. Look at this. Look at my clothes. I need to steam them or iron them. I need to, the Leo energy will be like, we need more clothes. We need a new wardrobe. Hello. And make you pay attention to your hair, the Leo energy. And then Virgo is like, oh my God, our hygiene, we need to step it up. We need to whiten our teeth. You know what I'm saying? We need to make sure that we have like better deodorant or cologne or parfum, or maybe even body spray or whatever. And then Venus in Libra is like, yes, our aesthetics and our outfits and our pieces. We got to get those together, baby. So yeah, August is a month to really get your shit together, you guys. All right. So next we have, on the 19th, Uranus goes retrograde. Okay. So I'm not really going to cover this too much, you guys. Put too big of an emphasis on it, because this is a long-term transit. Uranus is going to be retrograde from August until January. So he's going to go from 14 degrees of Taurus back to 10 degrees of Taurus. So if you have any planets or placements within 14 to 10 degrees of Taurus, or also Aquarius, Leo, or Scorpio, then you will be mostly affected by this retrograde. Okay. Hardcore. And if you don't, excuse me, if you don't, this may go unnoticed. So Uranus retrograde is pretty much like, Uranus, when he moves forward, he's super rebellious and stuff. When he moves backwards, he's still rebellious, but he goes in and thinks about a lot of stuff, like thinks outside the box about a lot of things. I don't really want to get too deep into this far outer planet going retrograde because, like I said, he goes retrograde every year. You'll probably not even really notice it, you guys. But anyway, if you are Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo, or Aquarius, you will notice the effects of him ransacking your life once again. Okay. All right. So next we have, excuse me, on the 22nd, there's a few things popping. We have on the 22nd, the sun moving into Virgo. Okay. Sun moves into Virgo. Looks like early in the afternoon over here, until September 22nd. So August 22nd to September 22nd, the sun in Virgo. And also on that day, we have a full moon at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So full moon means the sun and moon are both at the same degree, but in opposite signs. So that happens before the sun switches into Virgo. Okay. Excuse me. It looks like it's like super early over here where I'm at that this full moon happens. Yeah. So the moon is 29 Aquarius and the sun is 29 Leo. And joining the moon is going to be Jupiter. Interesting. In Aquarius. Okay. So this is the second full moon in Aquarius that we have this summer. The first one was in July and it was at 1 degree Aquarius. Kind of with Saturn, but still kind of far away from Saturn in my, not just opinion, but in the calculations that I use and stuff. But yeah, we have this at 29, the anaretic degree or the critical degree, the last degree. So this is definitely finishing something that could have been started with the full moon in Aquarius in July. And also we had a new moon in Aquarius at the beginning of the year of 2021. That was at 23 degrees of Aquarius in February, on February 11th. I sure remember that time because shit hit the fan in the area of my life that Aquarius rules. So if you could remember back in mid-February of this year, that new moon that we had, I think that one was also conjoined to Jupiter, if I'm not mistaken. Nah, because Jupiter was still early to mid degrees of Aquarius. Yeah, it was still kind of far away. It was still in the same sign though. So, for some of you guys, it could have had an effect, but this one is close with Jupiter. So what this makes me think is, even though Jupiter is retrograde, he's still Jupiter. He still brings blessings and good things and stuff mostly, but he can exaggerate things. So there could be an exaggeration of something emotional in your life. With whatever the full moon is bringing, there could be an exaggeration, a blowing up of something. But also Jupiter makes you jump after things and go for them when it comes to goals and things that you want to do in life. So this could be people really just making a decision that's based on pure emotion and faith and just jumping and going for it. It could be something like that. This is between Leo and Aquarius. So once again, there could be something to do with worrying about others versus worrying about yourself. Sometimes people need to be more on the worrying about themselves end of things. I know I was straight clowning earlier because Leos are just funny. But sometimes you do have to worry about yourself and not so much others and be the humanitarian, because you could burn yourself out. You could drain yourself. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you need to go into yourself and worry about you and focus on you and, not say screw all those other people, but hey, I need to take a break from humanity and people and just work on me. So maybe there's a decision in general that some people have to make to do that. I always say that Aquarius is the group. It's like being a part of you're in a singing group or something, right? Or a band. And you and the band are known as the band, If you have a name, you are so-and-so from such and such band. You're not just so-and-so. But Leo is you being just you, so-and-so. You're the only one on stage with your instrument or your voice or whatever, with the spotlight only on you. There's nobody else around you. So it's like going, being with the team and being labeled as and known as a part of this team or this group or community or whatever, or just being known as you, just you. So there could be a decision that people need to make in regard to that. But of course, if you get a monthly horoscope, you can know where this Leo and Aquarius opposition is popping for you in what area of life, based on your rising sign or your sun sign mostly. But yeah, so that's a full moon in Aquarius. And this is on the 22nd. And, with the full moon being conjoined to Jupiter, it's going to set the tone, like whatever's going on with this full moon, just expect Jupiter to continue it on. Like things may be set off with the full moon and Jupiter is going to continue trekking back and forth in Aquarius, like I said earlier, and going to just keep it going with whatever is brought up. So things could have been initiated in July, wherever Aquarius is at in your chart. And then this, July 28th, Jupiter back in Aquarius, things could have started kicking into high gear. And then with this full moon, August 22nd, it's really like something comes to a head. And then, there's some decision made. And then Jupiter continues on with that decision for the rest of the year. Okay, so now we could talk about the sun going into Virgo. He steps into Virgo for a whole month on the 22nd. So that's adding to the Virgo energy that's already in the sky. There's already a Virgo party, you know what I'm saying? Already a work party with the punch and, them having little gag gifts they're giving out and people just talking smack about what's going on in the workplace. All the water cooler talk and all of that is still going on. Virgo energy makes me think of that show, The Office, okay, or the movie Office Space. Like both are super funny and hilarious, at least to me as a sixth houser, having been in that corporate world culture, that cubicle culture and stuff. Virgo rules cubicle culture, you guys. Corporate is like Capricorn creates the corporate world. Virgos are the minions that are like running around within the corporate world, while the Capricorns actually run the show, you know what I mean? So yeah, Virgo energy just totally reminds me of anything that has to do with offices and office politics and all of that. So that's the vibe for the rest of the month. People are going to be getting on their organization and their cleaning and their, just being more about work and being more worrisome too, I would say, is part of Virgo energy too. Like thinking of the worst scenarios, thinking of the worst scenarios before you even take action to do something. And that's one thing that does kind of suck about Mars in Virgo, with it being action, Mars being action. You're taking actions like a Virgo, which means you can stop and think, and what if this happens, and what if this, and what if that, and what if, and this plus this equals this, and there's no other way. That's just what's gonna happen, before you even get started on the shit, man. So just be aware of that. With so much Virgo in the sky at the end of the month, it can make you worry so much and like worry yourself out of doing things that might be actually good for you, and also try not to be judgmental, super judgy with, this season really popping with 3 planets in that sign. Try not to be judgy and be very one-dimensional about stuff. I know that, I've talked to like some Virgo friends recently and they kind of struggle with that. And I get it as a sixth houser. That's a struggle of ours. Like you see a person and you see them do something and then you just jump to conclusions and assume like, that's it. That's that person. That defines that person. And really it's like, no, we're multidimensional, Virgo. Like what the man? Like, for example, I was chatting with a Virgo friend recently, and she has only known me to be head over heels over like one person ever, right? Even though I've had several, but she's only known of one. Okay. So then, because she's seen that person and saw what they looked like, anytime she talks about dudes with me, it's like, oh yeah, but he doesn't look, that type, like the body type of that dude or whatever. That one dude that she's ever seen me with ever. He doesn't look like that. He's not that type of guy. And I'm like, what makes you think that's my only type of guy? Well, because you were all crazy. Yeah, but that's one guy. You can't base, oh, well, that one guy that you saw, oh, run with it. That means that's my type. No, maybe I don't have an exact type. Some people really are like that song. I ain't got no type. That song is annoying as hell, but some people really are like that, But Virgo energy can tend to take one thing, run with it, and say, this is the fact of it all, and the end all be all, and 1 + 1 is the only way to equal 2. And it's like, oh my God, the world is so multifaceted, Virgo. Like, get the fuck out of here. So try not to fall into the traps of that like one-dimensional energy and to being in the hamster wheel so much with work to where you don't step out of it. I've noticed also with Virgo energy, if you work, you will work yourself like fingers to the bone, and you will hardly stop to drink water, go to the restroom, get something to eat. Virgo energy tends to do things like work overtime, work early, like work through lunch hours and stuff, and neglect themselves for the sake of completing work, so try to still take care of yourself. It's like, it's the irony, what's it called, the dichotomy, or the duality of Virgo energy, always preaching to everybody about health. Virgo rules health, but it also rules sickness. It rules good habits, but it also rules bad habits. So it's like they could preach all day like, oh, you need to do this, you need to drink more water, you need to blah, blah. But all the while, they work themselves to death and smoke cigarettes and pop pills and all that shit. You know what I mean? And hardly ever take breaks or sleep very well. So yeah, just don't fall into the negative traps of this energy being so abundant the rest of the month. But yeah, it's a good time to get a lot of things done. Get your life, get your budget, get your house in order, get your house clean, get your car clean, do some things for other people, offer to do practical things for them, to help them out and stuff like that. All right. So the last transit we're going to talk about is Mercury going into Libra, which is on the 30th. Just briefly touch on that because, Mercury doesn't stay in a sign for very long. He is going to be in Libra starting with like the very end of August. Okay. So he goes into Libra August 30th and he stays. Actually, I do need to talk about Mercury in Libra because I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, oh snap, I almost forgot. Mercury's going to go retro again. I know it's like we just got out of the shit right now. It's like again. Yeah. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. And I know people who don't know astrology, they think, oh, it's some weird like phenomenon that just pops up out of nowhere to ruin our lives. No, they are a cycle that is able to be calculated. All right. So it's 3 times a year, and usually it's in the same element of signs. So this year it is air signs. So Mercury is retro in Libra. Mercury goes into Libra August 30th, and he's not going to be out of Libra until November. So we got August, September, October, November. We have like 3 months of Mercury in Libra. So if you are a Libra anything, you really need to be aware of that, okay? If you want to know where it affects you, you got to check your chart and see where Libra's at in your chart. That's where you can go back and forth with decisions, with a lot of things. You could have miscommunication with people who are in the area that your chart rules and stuff like that. So Mercury goes into Libra on the 30th. He is actually in the sign of Libra through December 5th, but he's retrograde from September 27th until November 18th. But remember, there's those 2-week periods before he goes retro and then after he goes direct to where he's in shadow and things are still a little wonky. So, yeah, it looks like just count all of September as freaking Mercury retro, okay? And then October, also Mercury retro. Then he goes direct in mid-October, but he's still got the shadow period. And then he goes into, oh wait, I don't know. My notes were wrong. Anyway, he goes until November 5th. I can't read my handwriting. My bad. Yeah, November 5th is when he leaves Libra and goes into Scorpio. But yeah, so he is going to be retrograde in the sign of Libra. Just be prepared for that. And maybe I'll talk about it more in the September horoscopes. But Mercury in Libra basically is more, thinking about relationships, partnerships, what's fair, what isn't, worried about beauty, vanity, looks, aesthetics, art, being liked and likable, who likes you and who doesn't, and how can you get them to like you if they don't like you, stuff like that. But also be careful because Libra energy could play the devil's advocate a lot of times. Mercury ruling friends and, communication with people. People accuse Libra energy of being disloyal a lot of times because they do want to be liked by everybody. And it doesn't matter if it's an enemy of a friend or whatever. Like, you know how Libra opposes Aries. Aries is ride or die for their people. Okay. If somebody that's in their tight circle doesn't like another person, they'll be like, oh, well, I don't like them either. I don't know them. I never met them, but I don't like them because you don't like them. Libra energy is like, well, let me see for myself whether or not I like them. And if they're a nice person, yeah, I'm still going to be nice to them. I'll still be your friend, but I can still be friends with this other person because I'm in the middle. I'm neutral. Like I'm not involved in you guys' beef or conflict. So therefore they're looked at as, oh, that is so disloyal. Either you rock with me or you don't. If you rock with me, you don't rock with them. So yeah, there could be issues like that come up. You know what I think of when I think of that energy? How Snoop Dogg, he's a Libra, and Tupac was an Aries moon, and how Tupac was like not really messing with Snoop in the end of his days because he looked at him as disloyal and a traitor for those very reasons that I stated already. Snoop was doing the Libra thing. He's cool with everybody. And Tupac's like, nah, the enemy, we got to target the enemy and my enemies are your enemies if you roll with me. And Snoop is like, nah, I roll with whoever I want. So yeah, he wasn't really rocking with that. So yeah, Libra energy, be careful of playing devil's advocate, telling one person, oh yeah, you're the greatest. Oh yeah, that other person sucks. And then turn to the other person and tell them the same thing. Don't get caught up. Okay. So that's it, you guys. That's it for the monthly forecast for August 2021. Once again, if you want to be able to be early to monthly forecasts, some other special transit forecast videos and be able to have access to them. I do have like my Jupiter in Pisces video, Saturn Uranus square video. All of that is on my Patreon and you have access to it with all the memberships. So those are just examples of the videos I have. I have several on there. I at least keep up with those, and I will be doing the Q&As and live streams very soon. I can't give any dates anymore, you guys. It seems like when I give a date to things, Uranus laughs at them and throws lightning bolts through those plans and makes me look hella stupid and flighty. So just know that stuff like that is coming. Things are being worked out in my personal life behind the scenes to where I can finally get out more content. Okay, seriously, like I told you guys a little bit, I had no AC for months, could barely be home. That has very recently been fixed, and now there's just a couple other things I'm working out. So soon, you guys, soon. But until then, yeah, there's still some exclusive stuff you will find only on my Patreon. And also I do still have the monthly horoscopes. You can order one for your sign for the month of August. So thank you guys so much for listening. And I will be back on everything very soon. And until then, can't knock the hustle. It's Virgo season. And take care of yourselves. All right. Peace.